Well, Mother Nature just couldn't stay out of the act as this year's State Fair of Texas got underway here in Dallas. As you can see, the spirits weren't necessarily dampened despite the rain that came down all day long, nor did it hurt attendance that much, but it did force cancellation of the downtown Dallas parade and the official opening of the fair here at Fair Park. But despite the rain, the State Fair of Texas, the largest of them all, opened with more than 100,000 farm boys and girls celebrating Rural Youth Day. And it's a good thing for Rural Youth Day because the young people didn't mind the weather so much, and they went right on with the big day they planned. Texas International is the theme for this year's State Fair of Texas, and the Pan American Livestock Exposition will keep on with the worldwide livestock market promotions that have brought 5,365 cattlemen from 43 other countries here since 1953. Other key attractions include the World Exhibits Building, the 1968 model automobiles, fireworks and symphony concerts in the Cotton Bowl, 3 major football games on the weekends, Herb Albert and the Tijuana Brass, the musical Mame, and so forth. Between today and October 22nd, when the fair ends, they are expected to count their 80 millionth fair visitor. Since attendance records began being kept in 1916, a total of 77,751,751 persons have pushed through the turnstiles here at Fair Park. And they're surely to get that 80 millionth fair visitor this year. So the story on the first day at the fair, the rain came, but so did the young people. This is Sam Curry at the fairgrounds for Channel 8 News.
The song from the movie, State Fair, "Our State Fair is a Great State Fair," is true. And in less than a week, the Texas State Fair will open its gates once more. What started out in 1852 as the first fair in Dallas County has mushroomed into the largest annual fair in the United States today. Preparations are being made despite a labor shortage problem. Garland Parker of the Texas Employment Commission office here on the fairgrounds explains about the seriousness of the problem.
This is my 19th year, and it's been the worst this year in my knowledge. Sure has.
Do you see any signs of it letting up?
Well, yes, if we get plenty of radio and TV publicity, I believe that'll alleviate the problem. Sure does.
You've been open for 2 weeks. How many people have you been processing per day, and how many today?
So far, I'd guess 60, 75 each day, but today we're going to go close to 400, I believe.
Preparations won't really hit their peak until 2 or 3 days before the opening. But as I wandered around the grounds today, I noticed the World Exhibits Building is getting its first major overhaul since the Texas Centennial in 1936. Permanent building facades have been added, and ceilings have been lowered, among with many other changes. Well, there won't be many changes here on the Midway, but I don't imagine most of the crowds will mind. Here at the Midway, on the Great Fair grounds of Texas, Carl Mayle reporting.
Well, it was threatening rain, and the temperature was a little less than warm today, but nevertheless, the world's largest state fair opened in Dallas with a gala parade through the downtown area. The 67 marching units were led by the #1 Texan, Governor John Connally. Also participating in the activities was Miss Texas, Mrs. America, several beauty queens riding on colorful floats, 16 high school bands, the 4th U.S. Army Band, and numerous drill teams. The floats will parade nightly on the fairgrounds, depicting the fair's theme of America 68. Attendance for this year's fair is predicted to reach the 3 million mark for the 16-day run of the fair, which winds up on October 20th. At noon today, Governor Connolly was featured in the official opening day ceremonies at the fairgrounds.
This is indeed a nostalgic occasion for me. I hope it'll not be the last time that I visit the State Fair. I assure you it won't be. But as far as I know, and I'm not going to make any irrevocable statements today, but at least so far as I now know, it'll be the last time I'll ever appear in this capacity, at least, to open this fair. It's been a source of great pleasure to me to come to this State Fair, as it has, I'm sure, for you. I travel this state from corner to corner and all the corners. I see the vitality and the strength that is a part of Texas today, not because of the abundance of natural resources with which we've been blessed, but the vitality and the strength and the drive that emanates from the people who occupy this land. And so today, I take great pride and great pleasure in dedicating this 83rd State Fair of Texas.
The pace of activity continues to mount here at Fair Park as opening day of the 1969 Texas State Fair draws near. Incidentally, did you think, as I have, that there was some master genius gardener who coddled all these flowers along the esplanade to make them bloom just right for the fair? Well, Channel 8 News here and now explodes that myth, because as you can see, these flowers are brought in here in these boxes and set out along the esplanade. Nonetheless, they are beautiful, and this indicates the lengths that fair officials will go to make things beautiful for you, as well as fun and informative. This year's fair, the largest annual exposition in the country, begins Saturday for a 16-day run. The theme, fittingly, is the Moon Year, commemorating the feat of landing men on the moon. One of the brand new exhibits will be related to that theme. The National Aeronautics and Space Administration will have several exhibits, including a large-scale model of the lunar landing craft. Several films will be shown in the NASA exhibit, informative, interesting, and even spectacular, but also very brief, an important feature for harried fairgoers. Another unusual feature of the 1969 fair is in the Women's Building. Tom Patton of Tyler, Texas, is showing a few of his artifacts salvaged from sunken Spanish galleons. Patton has financed and led 2 expeditions to find the sunken ships, then recover the priceless treasures. He has another expedition scheduled for later this year. If security and insurance matters can be cleared up as expected, Patton will have an emerald weighing over 100 carats. While the Texas State Fair will be loaded with things to see and do, there is one thing that will not be here. In spite of the advanced publicity, the production Hey Look, a mixture of live action and film, folded during the Oklahoma State Fair and no longer exists. Besides the activities filling Fair Park, including the big play George M. in the Music Hall, there'll be the Ice-Capades in the Memorial Auditorium downtown. All in all, it should be a great run for the 1969 Texas State Fair in Dallas. This is Roger McDonald, Channel 8 News.
The State Fair comes to Dallas once a year, and this year is the 81st annual fair. As in years past, the parade winds its way through town with lots of high school bands, covered wagons, horses, and snarled traffic. And then thousands of fairgoers converge on 200-acre Fair Park. And today, Governor Preston Smith opened the event.
This State Fair is an educational institution with few equals. By means of industrial, agricultural, cultural, and entertainment exhibits, it provides a liberal education in today's living and tomorrow's promise for Texans and Texas visitors of all ages. This is not only the State Fair of Texas. This is the State Fair for Texas.
Actually, it's not the State Fair. That's just another name for the real celebration. It's American Angora Goat Breeders Association Day and Texas Polled Hereford Association Day. And people from all over converge here to celebrate the occasion by eating. That's right, stuffing themselves with all kinds of goodies. Belgian waffles, foot-long hot dogs, hamburgers, corny dogs, candy apples, French fries, corn on the cob, charburgers, snow cones, roast beef sandwiches, and even something called pink things. It's enough to make you sick or very, very thirsty. Being from Houston, I never believed this is a way to pay tribute to an Angora goat or even a polled Hereford. I wanted to look at some of these fine animals, but photographer Gene Lenore said he wasn't going to get in a goat pen. Then again, I don't think I want to either. This is Jim Riddle, Channel 8 News at the Angora Goat Fair.